When the morning was still dark, the women bought the spices. I wonder how they were feeling as they approached the tomb. They had heard many promises about Jesus' death not being the end, but the beginning. But they simply did not know what the future held. I wonder how you approach the tomb today. Heartbroken? Empty? Fearful? Confused, maybe? We remember that there have been times during this pandemic, and even now as restrictions are easing, that we wonder if it will be true, if we can believe the promises, if we won't be plunged back into the darkness of another lockdown. Are we like the women, confused, unable to see the good news, stuck in the darkness, and finding it tricky to connect with Easter hope? Yet remember that in the midst of all this there is an encounter in a garden, an encounter that marks a new beginning, a new hope, a new life. Garden spaces are precious places. Inner city garden spaces more so. They bring calm, birdsong. They remind us of the changing of the seasons. And they bring signs of new life and new beginnings. And this year, encounters in gardens seem so poignant after months of not seeing people or chatting to friends in person. For now we too can meet in a garden and enjoy that precious contact once again. Yes, even in pandemic times, there are fresh starts and new beginnings. Jesus says, "Woman, why are you weeping?" After a year of so many tears, so much loss, so much grief, we can understand Mary's tears of exquisite pain. For Mary had come to do the last act of care for Jesus, to prepare his body, and found that she couldn't, for the body had gone. And then someone approaches, and there is something as familiar as a mirror, but impossible to place. And then there's one word, Mary. On hearing it, Mary's confusion and muddle of grief is turned upside down. Through that one word, the calling of her name, she knew it to be true. Mary knew the source of all her love was calling her. Even in the darkness of her despair, she could hear the voice of Jesus breaking through the pain. The realization that all had gone through before, the pain, the loss, the death, was healed by God, who knows each of us by name. Death leads to new life, pain to transformation, suffering to hope. It's what brings us to Easter. We are here because whatever darkness we encounter at the cross, the transforming power of resurrection brings light into darkness, and above all, he calls us by name. On Sunday at St. Faith's, we began our service with the lighting of our Paschal candle, a candle hand-painted by Debbie. Her creativity bringing new life to what was a blank canvas. Every brushstroke a prayer, an act of service and witness. The Paschal candle connects Good Friday to Easter. It holds the pain of the crucifixion with the hope of Easter. And when lit, it reminds us of Jesus' presence, that one small flame, flickering and vulnerable, sheds light in the darkness. Wherever we see this candle of hope, we can see the risen Jesus. Today, Jesus calls us by name, calls us to be candles of hope, shining into the darkness, into the hurting places of this world. This Easter is a new beginning. Jesus calls us by name.